I can't read the chat on Twitch. I'm playing at the same time. I've got only one screen. Just saying.
Welcome everybody to the European Dark Age of Camelot podcast. My name's Lea and I am here with Smeger and Fugo, our two knights, and we will bringing and presenting you the podcast. Welcome everybody to the European...
Hello everybody, welcome to the podcast. This is my first time talking on the podcast, so we'll see how we get on. We've got quite a lot of things that we'd like to talk about, and we're looking forward to hearing some of your feedback on those items. We wanted to start with the legendary weapons. Fugo has been kind enough to make a selection of the legendary weapons for us to display. They were changed quite recently with the Otherworld's quest, and you now have to farm ores from the Otherworld and also collect what's called the Pound of Flesh and the Orb of Entropy from the higher level mobs in there.
Hi guys.
There's... Sorry, Fugo. I'm just refreshing my Twitch stream because I'm not seeing the podcast at the minute.
Can you hear me, guys? Hey.
Yes, we can hear you perfectly fine.
Ah, there we go.
Sorry. Okay, I was here on the first few podcasts. My name is Fugo. I'm a French player, so you will excuse my bad English. Sorry.
That's fine. Your English is better than mine, to be honest. I'm an English player. I didn't really say anything. I've been a knight for a few months now, and I'm actually quite enjoying it. It's a little bit stressful at times. You're never quite sure what's going to come up next, but yeah, it is good fun, and it's good to give feedback about the game as well. So you can see the effects from the swords on the Twitch stream here. They're looking very nice. I think everybody that I've spoken to, and I've crafted a few myself, everybody that I've spoken to really does like the effects that we get from the weapons. They're not currently seeable by other players, so I can't see that the weapon that's being held, the effects are slightly downplayed, but that's going to be changing with the upcoming patches where everybody's going to be able to see the effects from the weapons, which is going to be very exciting. I can't wait to see a nice big Alb and Mid BG and Hid BG carrying a load of legendary weapons.
If you look at my car, you can see the new effects.
I believe that's the benthic, no, pyroclasmic that's being shown at the moment, the flaming weapon. Fugo, what weapon are you carrying at the moment?
Mine is Anthropic energy weapon. But you can see the real glowing effects as you can see on the Chilea cars.
So I believe that's the benthic weapon. And the new effect that Shaleia is carrying on her low-level Alb. It does look very nice. I do like these new weapons.
Yeah, they are very pretty. I've got a, but yes, the benthic one I'm having equipped right now.
Can you use the Anthropic one? We compare to my car.
I wanted to show them at the very last, because they are the new ones.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, do what you want. I will be putting on the pyroclasmic one next.
So you you quest to get the items from the drops. The weapons have recently changed so that you're enabled. You now have 4 slots for gems instead of the previous 3, and they've also put on them some Toa bonuses. So they now have 3% melee damage and 3% style damage.
If you compare, my infiltrator is wearing a pyroclasmic too. As you can see, we don't have the glowing effect. There is a glitch too.
So they're both using the same weapon, but there's just a slight... it just doesn't quite work for other players to see the full effect at the moment.
Yeah, yet, but this will, as you just said, this will change. So next one...
Yeah, that's soon going to be changing in 119, 11119.
Yeah. Next one I'll be showing...
is asking if we can dye them. No, we can't dye legendary weapons. You have to keep the original effects.
Next one I'll be showing is the Shimmering Arcanium Whirling Benthic. Didn't I show the Benthic one already? I don't know.
Yes, I think we've seen the benthic. That's the...
I've got a benthic too if you want to compare again.
Mine looks better.
Yeah. Don't forget to give me back after.
I will give them back to you, yes. No, I will use them on my level 1 too. Okay, then as we've seen...
Those weapons have been used to kill a lot of mids.
I believe so. Next one we'll see is the Tempestuous. Jesus, what a name.
Spirit damage.
Yeah, these are the new legendary skins that have been put into the game recently with the change in the weapons. They are not too easy to get. They haven't made it so that you can farm and have 50 million weapons. They're quite popular at the moment, so obviously the price of you have to collect ores, which you have to do a side quest for, and then you can start collecting the ores, and then you can start creating the actual weapons themselves. And to make the new weapons, you need new items which drop off of the boss mobs, I believe in chapter 5, 6, 7 of the Other Worlds quest.
This one is the Lithic matter damage.
I'm trying to convince... I am trying to convince my guild, well, my BG tank to be using a matter weapon because it's a 35% matter decrease buff, which will work quite nicely for my warlock. But the effects are amazing. I think they just look... It's such a step up from what they used to be.
Collecting ore can be a little boring, but you have to reach to chapter the overworld before being able to.
Yes, I believe the quest is in chapter 7 to start collecting the ores, and then you need to do...
But you have to begin a first quest in... I like this one. Somatic weapons.
So this has created a change in the resist tables for the weapons, so that it's not. It was something that was quite heavily dealt with in the internal forums, and deciding what would be the best way to go forward, so that we're not overpowering certain classes or making it, oh, this is the go-to weapon for everybody because it's so overpowered. So it was quite heavily looked into before deciding on where the actual changes would be made.
The last one is my preferred. I love this one.
Yay, it's so pretty!
I don't remember.
I believe
if
that's
you
is that
said
the
Smeger.
final new weapon.
We can now imbue the weapon with 4 slots.
Yes, you can now put 4 gems in them, and they have put some TOA bonuses on them as well. So they have melee damage, style damage, and still have the AF that they used to have. So I think that's going to encourage people, and especially when you're carrying a glowy weapon, everybody wants a glowy weapon. I think that's going to encourage people, especially tanks with a weaponless template. It's going to encourage them to use them maybe a bit more than previously, even though they are quite tricky to get hold of, and it does mean begging a weapon crafter to make them for you.
Yeah, I definitely want one of them as well, even though I probably won't be able to put it to that much use because I'm usually playing a healing character, but still I need one because it glows and it's pretty. So yes, Fugo, thank you very much for providing us the weapons that we can show them to the Twitch podcast viewers, because they are really, really pretty and nice, and we are happy to have them.
Oh dear, what's happened to Fugo? I do believe he's become a ghost. We do have other visitors here. Milkmaids has come to watch us, and there's also a ghost standing on the red carpet. Can you guess what time of year it is? I do believe that means it's Halloween.
Woohoo!
Fugo is showing off one of his Halloween posts, which at the moment I believe are only usable in the capital city, and is it housing as well, I believe?
Yes, in
My
housing.
current skin was the first morphing of the Shard of Mist artifact back in the years, if some player remember. It was very, very difficult to target in the frontiers. Was awesome.
Yes, and I think there's a couple of potions that you're not able to use in the frontiers, and that's one of them, and I think the other one's the Pixie, unless I'm much mistaken.
Yep.
But obviously we're looking forward to the time when we can use them in RVR, because there's nothing more fun than having a whole bunch of goblins or imps, or a whole BG of I think Furbies was possibly one of the best ones, or even the undead or the headless. Gosh, there's just so many.
I'm a little taunt. I like it.
I was looking at my screenshot bag the other day, and I must admit I did have quite a few screenshots of the mid BG all running around as spiders, or all running around as arachites.
Oh my gosh. No, don't pick spiders. Everything but spiders.
But they run so funny. It just makes me laugh. And when you cast spells with them as well, it's very, very...
Ooh.
There are 3 merchants for potions. If you want to buy some, they are very, very cheap.
Fugo, would you like to lead the way, seeing as though you know where we're going, and you can show us where the potion merchant, or one of the potion merchants is? That would be fantastic.
Oh my god.
So as you can see, here's the crazy old lady. She's the one who gives out all the potions to everybody. What are they? 10 silver, so very cheap.
That's not
And very good
expensive.
fun to you.
Oh yeah, let me become a troll. Always wanted to.
Yeah, go on then. I'll have a go at a troll as well.
Yeah. Look at this. I can't find the
And this can be
Kalim
actually
shadow potion.
This can be very confusing for enemies when you're running around as a mixture of, say you're playing Hibs and you're running around as a mixture of mids. They can kind of go, oh look, there's a troll. So if people aren't quite paying attention, it can give you a little bit of an edge at times.
I really,
Yeah,
really
and
like
remember,
Fugo.
Halloween night means you can use them in RVR during Halloween night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a day or two before, and then Halloween night, and then a day after, I do believe.
In a week, I think.
And obviously that means that the Halloween quest is up as well at the moment. The pumpkin patches, they're not... It's keeping RVR busy. They're not as busy as before because a lot of people have done them previously, but they are good fun to run around and pick up the patches and pick up the drops from those patches, and then get the Halloween helm at the end of it, which is, yeah, typical witch's hat, obviously.
And this year you can get some new legendary components on the Jack boss.
Yeah, that's right. Jack is in one of the, I think it's one of the 4, so he's in Agramon, Hadrian's Wall, E-Main, or Odin's Gate patches, so he has a chance of being in any one of those, and he drops a piece of the new weapon crafting recipe. I think I'm going to have to change how I look.
I really, really love Fugo with the you know, with that nice hat on the troll.
Yeah.
This is very pretty.
My goal is to make my enemies laugh before I kill them. That's why I'm using that.
You're trying to kill them with laughter, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Ta-da.
So I think we've had a nice look at a range of some of the potions. As you can see, there was I believe there was a full page of animal potions, or the mob potions, and then you also have the 3 pages of the different realm potions, Hib, Mid, and Alb. So you can do lots of different things in your group. I was talking to one of my guildies the other day. I was playing tag with another player. This was probably 2 years ago, running around Jordheim. We were playing tag with each other, dressed up as, I believe it was headless corpses, and then we took it to the housing zone and we did it there for about half an hour, believe it or not, which was quite funny. But there you go. dancing simulacrum. That's scary.
Nah.
Although I think if you try and quit on the simulacrum, it makes it look like it's doing a moonwalk, which I thought was quite impressive. This is also the 14th year anniversary of DAOC, so there's bonuses that are running at the moment and have been running since the beginning of the month. Quite good bonuses. They're going to run right the way up until the 31st of October, which has been fantastic. Lots of people have been enjoying getting extra RPs. I think it's 50% in New Frontiers and Labyrinth. There's bonuses to bounty points and experience points. The bounty points is very good for when you're doing the champion levels up to level 15. I know lots of people have been taking advantage of getting 5,000 bounty points for doing the supplies quest. There's also the normal bonus to crafting speed and bonuses to the crafting game. And that's actually going on, I think it went on for a whole month, so we've still got a little while to go yet before it runs out, which I believe is possibly the longest time bonuses have been up for. I don't personally remember them being up anywhere near that long previously.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty long time this time. Usually they are not up that long. You are right there, I think. I can't remember any time when it was that long as well.
Stormwell is asking for more time for fun with the costume post.
Yes, we do love costume potions. It just makes us laugh.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to we can use them in RVR as well. That will really be nice, and maybe it will save me a minute longer of life.
Yes, I think I could use some of them, definitely. Although I must admit, I might have to stop running around with my chambers, so that way I can just try and hide who I am a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Clothcaster, we'll kill him first. So, in relation to the bonuses that are going on, there's also the Renvik quest, which has been up for, I believe, is it over a year now? Which is was created for a young child who was suffering with cancer. He recently lost a battle to cancer, which is a big shame. And there was a memorial held on all three realms where everybody came in green because he loved the Hulk. So we all turned up in green. There's some lovely pictures floating around of all three realms in different PvE areas, having a memorial for him. That was a big shame, and his dad attended and was very moved by the experience. And actually, I think a lot of players were as well.
Yeah.
So there is a quest. There is a quest out at the moment in I believe in the starter town, which enables you to get a helm, which also can increase your speed to craft weapons or spell crafting or things like that. So with the bonuses, the crafting doesn't take any time at all at the moment.
Yes, I've got a couple of people I play with in my guild, and they've just recently decided, I'll just pull up some crafters because of the bonuses and all that, and they really went to legendary in no time. So if you ever thought about leveling a crafter in Dark Age, now is a good time to do that. You still have about a week left to level up and get the Renvik helmet and go on and level your crafters. And if you didn't know that, you can now have all kind of crafters on the same toon. You don't have to make a new toon to have just to skill it up. You can have all professions on one toon.
I've just suddenly realised we might need to take a wander out of Camelot actually, because it's very bright and sunny here. We need to go and see if we can find the moon.
Yeah, let's go and
Yeah,
look for the moon.
follow me. I'll show you.
It's so good
I hope we
having
won't
someone
scare
who knows
too
where
many
they're
people.
going.
Yeah. I still get lost in Camelot. It is a silly place after all.
By leaving Camelot, we are going to lose the potions.
Oh
Can't use them outside of Capital City.
no! Alright. Oh, it's such a pretty caveman.
Oh look, and it's bright as day out here as well.
Well, it will eventually get night.
Oh, look at them.
That's right, we
It's
can see if we can
night
find
back in the
Renbeck.
game.
Oh look, here he is, just coming up for the stone in the middle. You don't have to try and chase him down because he doesn't particularly want to stop for you.
Yeah, he doesn't offer my
Quest is
two in the
very
quest
simple.
yet.
You just have to look for puppy, but the puppy is this in Ula.
Does anyone know what the minimum level is for the quest? Because I don't get it, but I'm level 1.
5,
So
level 5.
okay, so yeah.
Yeah, so it gives you a chance to get a helm that I do believe isn't available in other realms. We can get the steeple hat, which is the pointed hat. You can get the wolf helm. You can get the one with antlers, which I would imagine is probably him. And I love the siege crafting one because it just looks like a jester's hat. And you just need to find his pet dog, which he seems to have lost somewhere. I have no idea where it is in now. Let me have a quick run round and see if I can.
You want to find the puppy?
Oh, found him. I've found Maddie. There we go. Now I've just got to track him down. Here he comes. So this is the siege crafting hat, which I do think it just makes me smile every time I wear it.
You're looking very good. It suits you. It's a bit like it's a colourful version of yeah, you know, Fugo's helm. Oh, pretty, the two of you.
I think you should be able to right click it. I think it's tradable. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. I don't know if you can equip it, but you might be able to equip it.
Whee!
There you go. Got your very own. Looks like we have some people who are asking for it to be free to play. Who've come onto the screen to have a run round with us. and they are also doing the Monty, which is one of our new
emotes, yes.
yeah, one of the new emotes that came out recently.
Is your helmet back?
Thank you very much. I'm going to carry on wearing that.
Yes.
So I know the on mid definitely, and I was in a BG earlier on Alb where we were doing the Other Worlds campaign, and there was a lot of people taking part actually right away from the beginning as well. So there's a lot of people still very interested in getting all the items from the Other Worlds campaign, and I know there's a lot of people looking forward to the end of the Other World campaign because that's bringing in some quite large changes to the way the game runs, I believe. So I'm sure everybody's heard that they're going to be changing Agramon and things will be quite different there. I believe there was a bit of a teaser given out quite recently on one of the podcasts.
Around the 4th of November.
So Agramon is going to be changing, which we're looking forward to actually, and I'm not sure what we're looking forward to more. The end of the Other Worlds quest where we get all of the items, because pretty much every step of the quest we've got a new item, whether it be a ring or a bracer or some gloves, and also obviously with the new legendary weapons and all the drops from that coming into effect and people wanting to get those new weapons out as well, it's made it a very exciting time in the game recently.
Yes, the Other World campaign is really okay.
9.
You're what? You're waiting. What is it? Chapter 9? Sorry.
Yeah, I like reading, leading Red to the Overwatch chapters. I like it.
Yeah.
New maps, new encounters. Very.
Yeah, I must admit I've led quite a few BGs on mid to do the Other World campaigns, and I know that Osgard did one quite recently. I think it was yesterday. He led a BG to do the Other Worlds campaign from right at the beginning. Personally, I enjoy it because the first stage was really hard to do back in the day, and now that it's been up for quite a while, it's been made a lot easier, so you're able to do it with just one group, and when you do it with the BG, it's over in seconds. The first step, killing Ymir, was very hard. We wiped numerous times to that, so I'm quite happy to go back and kill him again and again and again.
Yeah.
It's really helpful. You have like BGs, whole BGs still doing the Other World campaign, the whole campaign on all realms, several times during the week. I mean, I know my guild does it at least once a week, and I've seen others doing it a lot as well. Sometimes it's a bit hard for people to find those raids, but you can always come to the post count forums, of course, and there are very often those raids are officially announced. So you can take part, and there's also a Dark Age of Camelot event groups, player-run event groups on Facebook, and many of those runs are posted there as well. So if you ever think of joining one of these realms, one of these raids, and your guild or alliance doesn't do one, these are two places where you can check post count and the Dark Age of Camelot event group on Facebook, and I'm sure you will find some some raids to join there.
Yeah, so you can just do what quite a lot of people seem to do on mid and just message me and go, oh, when are you doing the next campaign? When are you doing the next 1 to 7? When to 8? It's like, yeah, soon, maybe at the weekend.
Yeah, when are you planning to do the next one? Because I'm leveling in mid-tune right now, so I don't know when I can join you.
Well, I'm on half term from work at the moment because my kids are at home, so I will most likely be running one during the week.
Okay, good to know.
I'm thinking probably Tuesday actually.
Tuesday's my 8-man group. But I'm sure I will find a day to join as well. I just message you, and then I'll find
sure there'll
out.
be. Yeah, exactly. That's fine.
I think one of the big benefits we've seen so far for other worlds that we haven't really talked about so far is just getting out PvE, and you got to pick up people, realm mates that you probably wouldn't group otherwise, and it's really starting to, at least based on the feedback that I've seen, it's really starting to get people more involved with their realm. And you group someone in PvE, maybe you're willing to group them in RVR and you start a new guild, forming those relationships. And I think that's one of the key things about an MMO that makes DAOC great.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm friends with a lot of people who I don't even know in real life, and I've made some really good friends, made a really good guild that I enjoy. I enjoy my time with, and we all have the same kind of attitude, and that's it's really nice to come onto a game and have those kind of relationships with people that are on the other side of the world. So in being able to increase that kind of friendship circle that you have through a game is fantastic. And having more and more people joining your guild or just joining your playing circle is really, really nice.
Yes, the real life aspect is really. I've seen it in Dark Age that it is very strong. They're stronger than in other games. And if I just personally look at my own experiences, my guild is celebrating its 11th anniversary this year as well, and it's really nice. We still have people in that guild that were there right from the beginning. And the German community especially is known a lot for having real life meetings, and they are still happening even now when the game is about to celebrate its 14th anniversary. So that's really something that makes Dark Age very special.
Yes, I do know that there was a Fellowship of Midgard guild meeting recently where they all came over to the UK and they did a visit to Stonehenge and then went to Leicester, and I'm sure they've been doing other things because I believe they were over here for a week. So yes, that was very exciting to know that those kind of things are still going on and that people still want to meet up and actually get that face-to-face contact purely because they met someone and have made friends through a game. So do we want to talk about the end of the campaign and the Isle of Man? I do believe that's going to be the next big thing after the end of the Other Worlds campaign. I think that's going to be quite a big game changer. There's lots of things that are going to be coming into effect when that occurs. So it's going to make RVR times very interesting. I mean, this game is a very RVR based game. That's what everybody wants to do. They want to get out there and they want to attack the other realm. They want to attack enemy players. So yeah, I think that's going to bring quite a different aspect to how the game is played.
I don't know if the Isle of Man is
I do believe that they've already spoken about the fact that there's going to be an underground keep on the Isle of Man, which I don't think we've ever had before. I think that's going to be very exciting. I'm not quite looking forward to having to go on Pendragon and finding out exactly what that all entails and how it looks and kind of the effect that it's going to have. And I'm going to see if I can encourage other BGs to take part in the testing to make sure that we can get everything working up to spec and everything's going to be fine for when it goes live. And I think everybody's going to be really enjoying that. I think everybody's going to want to get in there first to have a look.
we don't have a lot of intel about what this isle will be.
I haven't heard too much about what's going to happen on the Isle of Man when they change. I think everybody knows that there was going to be an underground keep, but that was pretty much all I really knew about it.
Yeah, I don't know that any of us really know all that much, or uh, from all I've heard, it sounds like there's going to be something for everyone there, hopefully. I know the 8-mans are hoping they'll still have a playground too.
Yeah, and I think the 8-mans are strong enough these days that they'll be able to handle any problems that they come across. I know I normally run in a mid BG, and we in a 2 or 3 group mid BG sometimes. We've had troubles versus some of those Aggie 8-mans because they are very strong players and they know how to play the game.
I almost always play alone. I don't know how the new content will change my gameplay. You are playing BG, I play alone. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean we've seen quite a lot of changes over recent times with the introduction of new frontiers and the changes to the way that the outlook of it and the keep changes and the porting changes and all those kind of things. So I think it's just a have a go and see what happens kind of thing, and I think that's going to be quite exciting. Hopefully it will encourage some people to come back to the game, to give it another try, or even just to start from the beginning and have a go. Heaven knows there's plenty of guilds out there who are inviting new people, inviting new players who want, more people in with them, who have the experience bonuses up and are willing to help and assist players in their gameplay and, encourage them in what they need to do and teach them about DAOC. Which I think is very positive that, in a game that has been around for a long time, people are still very willing to encourage other people and to help other people, because it could become a case of, I've got my little group, I've got my little bunch of friends, and that's all I'm going to do. But it's not like that at all. It's very much an open, helpful, friendly game. There's lots happening all the time, and the population is quite good at the moment, quite strong, and there's lots of things happening all over the place. So we take a wander back into Camelot.
Don't we wait for the moon? We should wait for the new moon to pop up.
Oh yes, we are waiting. It seems to be taking a long time. What is the time?
It's 4 p.m. in game.
Oh, it's 4 p.m. Yeah. Oh, it's not that long then.
Yeah, it was 9 in the morning when
5
we
more
came
minutes,
out.
Yeah, we got good timing then, haven't we?
Is awesome. Really, really nice work.
Don't forget to follow this Twitch stream, official DAOC. It'd be fantastic to have as many viewers as possible watching this to see how many we can get. Might be. I think we've got a few more people watching now. If you'd like to show off the legendary weapons again, that would be fantastic.
Yes, I can show them up again. Of course, why not? So at first
Waiting
I'm
for the
still...
moon.
Yeah, while we're waiting for the moon, I show the weapons. The one I've still got equipped now is one of the 2 new ones. It's the entropic one.
Entropic. Entropic is energy damage. Really good against chain and scale. If you look at the new resist table. I'm showing the weapon on my infiltrator too. You can see we have the same
And next one will be the other new one, the somatic one.
I don't have one to show at the same time.
Oh no!
But only one. I don't use them. Body weapons are good only against high magic resistant classes. I don't think. Full skin, by the way.
Next one will be the pyroclasmic one.
So there were a few changes made to the resist tables in relation to these weapons and how they perform against other, against plate and chain and scale and studded, the reinforced leather and the cloth, with the introduction of these new two, the energy and the body weapons. I know there's quite a few people who've been asking to be making the new weapons and asking for the new weapons for their Shadow Blade. I made one the other day for a tank who was very pleased with his weapon, not only the look of it but also the way it works.
This one is Benthic, cold damage.
Next one will be the Tempestuous. That's a very difficult word for a non-native speaker.
Spirit. Tempest, spirit damage.
So we've seen some other big changes in recent times. There's now the new potions, the supremacy potions, which are basically the same as having a buff bot in your pocket, but it comes in a potion, lasts for 2 hours, and it's capped buffs, which is very nice. Actually, they're slightly higher on piety than a shaman's buffs anyway.
I like the new tenacity potion too. When you use a lot of stamina, it's cool to have it up.
Yeah,
Stamina
so there's the tenacity potions. There's also a potion that draft of restoration, which removes a dead head from you. There's some omni heals which heal, regen your power, your endurance, and some health. And then you have a heal pot which does the same.
There was a question now in Twitch chat if there are just new effects or new stats as well, and the legendary weapons now, they have been changed a bit. There are some extra stats on them now compared to the old legendary weapons, plus there are 4 slots now for spell crafting, so you can put 4 gems in it now. And then there was another question regarding the buff bots. Fugo already answered it in Twitch chat, but for everybody else who's only watching and not reading, the new buff potions are fully capped ones, so you really don't need a buff bot anymore. If you don't want to run a buff bot, you can just use the new buff potions, and they will give you fully buffed, fully capped buffs as well.
And they are relatively cheap to buy. You can they can be crafted by alchemists. All of the new potions can be crafted by alchemists, again through drops in the other world. So they're relatively cheap to buy from the merchants in the housing, because lots of people have been
the
out
moon is coming.
doing the quest to pick up the...
Behind you.
Oh, here we go. This is what we've been waiting for.
Moon is rising.
The moon! Oops.
Behind you. Yeah. You've got...
Ah yes, we get to see it coming over the tree. Completely new change for the moon. It's always been a pumpkin moon as far as I'm aware over Halloween, and this time I'm not quite sure who that's supposed to be. I'm not going to mention any names, but it's a little bit more spooky. It's a little bit of a change.
Well, it's definitely
I must
not
admit,
Baby or me.
I never said it was.
Well, I think it's a troll moon. It's
No. I was going to say it's a baby picture. Then
A very angry baby. I must admit, I'm quite pleased with the most recent item that we received from the Other Worlds campaign. I believe it was a necklace, and it has mythical realm point bonus. So I'm currently struggling to get anywhere in the 12s, and I think I'm going to see if I can make a template with quite a few of these new items in. I've been told that I should leave it until the actual end of the campaign so we know what the final items are, but I don't think I can wait that long. It was actually altered quite recently after we'd had a bit of a discussion about it on the forums. Initially it was like the winged helmet had a 75% melee reduction to it, but that was reduced to 25% because it was seen as being a little bit too much, especially seeing as though it could be worn by a lot of people and relatively easy to fit into a template.
yeah, as an assassin, I'm very glad it was reduced, because steel absorption would devaste my opening. When people wear a winged helm, it's very awful for us assassins. I'm glad. That's cool.
Yeah, I think you know, it was looked at initially, because initially it did come out at 75%, and to start off with, we thought that would work and that would go quite well. But then quite a few players in game and in the forums were saying, actually, this is a little bit too much, and it is a very easy item to template. So maybe that needs to be looked at again. So we had a bit of a discussion about it, and speaking to various people, it was decided that it would be reduced. So having that feedback come back from players in the game and from the Knights as well, bringing feedback from their own realms is fantastic and makes a big difference, and can make a change pretty much overnight on how items are used and how they're changed and the effect that they can have on other people's play.
Yeah, one thing I still wanted to add to the necklace and the changes that have been made. I think it's a very good example that that the devs actually really react to feedback from the community, because there was the feedback that the necklace was a bit too strong for it, and after the feedback came in, there was an appropriate reaction to it. So it's really nice that the feedback that the players give are actually heard as well.
It's that what is needed. Feedbacks are awesome. We have to give feedback if we want
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. I think feedback's very important to the game and the way that things are changed. So if there is something that you feel strongly about, if there is something that you you want to see improved or you want to see changed, then fill in the feedback form, send it off, and who knows, your idea could be the one that comes up next that we're talking about.
And speaking of giving feedback, I can only speak for personal experience, but there's really two kinds of feedback that I know we receive, and we try to pass everything up the chain, but someone says, this is overpowered, this sucks, etc. Well, okay, we can pass it, but are the devs going to listen? I mean, what can they can't really work with that. But if you say, I tested this necklace on a mauler with 28% damage redux in Shade of Mist and the 75%, and with all my heal procs, I was pretty much staying healed versus a dual wielder. Well, they can actually log in and test that themselves, and lo and behold, if they can show that, that's a super way of doing feedback right there that really will get results right away. So
absolutely, and if I may add something there as well, for the for the users of our post count forums, we've got bug threads there as well, and that's something with those bug threads, when you want to report a bug, be as specific as possible, because that helps really a lot. For example, if you say, "Oh, there are walls in the keeps in New Frontiers where you can bug into it, and then you're in the keep walls," that's not very helpful. It would be more helpful if you would, you should be more specific, say where exactly, which keep, and or with a log or something like that. So that's more helpful, because those bugs are always something that is tried to be fixed, but the more specific the better, so that those little bug holes can actually be fixed.
Specific and objective as much as possible.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Shall we take a wander back into Jordan and go and get a last potion before we're done?
Yeah. I saw a lot of people complaining about the new overworld items. I think what is cool is that we got plenty of items. We can't have all of them in one temp, so we have to make choices. This is good, I think.
Oh yes, there's so many new items that have come into the game recently, with the Darkness Fall items, with the mythical stat increases. All these things make a big difference in how you want a template and what you want, what you see as important to your character, whether that's constitutional piety or having high dex so you don't need quite as much org dex. You have to really, it's a bit of give and take. You go, well, I want really high dex, which might mean that I have to go slightly lower on something else.
Yeah, but you do have the choice, and that's the nice thing. It's not that like there are other games out there where you play them to get a set tier of equipment, and that's there's always one top-notch set tier for your very specific class, and you don't really have a lot of choices because you have to go for that specific tier set that's out there. But here in Dark Age, you can cater to your very own playstyle. If you play a caster or a mana using class, for example, you can try to get more mana stuff in it, or arcane siphon stuff and mana increases, but you don't have to, and you have the freedom to pick between things and to really make a template that fits to your playstyle, which is something which I really like. I'm not really good at making templates, but I like that I've got the freedom to do so.
No, I do have my go-to people that I speak to when I want a new template. I'm like, any chance of making a new template with this necklace or that necklace? Or I use post count. Post count is fantastic. I don't think people put their best templates on there, but they definitely put nice templates on there, and they can always be tweaked for your own personal use. I think post count has become very important in this game. There's a lot of people who talk on there, and a lot of information is passed on there.
And there's a new German board too, so that's great for the EU community.
It is. There's thank you for mentioning it. There's a German subforum, so if you rather like to, take part in the discussion in German, you can finally do so on Postcount as well, which is really, really nice. And you're very welcome there. And go ahead, give it a try. Say hi. That was a rhyme, wasn't it? Okay, so we are slowly coming to an end here. There's one more thing I want to say regarding the podcast on November the 15th. That will be a developer question and answer podcast. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask the devs of Dark Age of Camelot, you'll have to keep the Camelot Herald. Have to keep an eye on the Camelot Herald. There will be a posting that will let you know how you can contribute to it, how you can, send in questions that you have for the devs, and then it will be answered. If it will be picked, then it will be answered on November the 15th on the podcast as well. So keep that in mind. November 15th is a dev Q&A podcast.
And if you can't write English, Shaila and me, we can translate from German and French in English if you want. You just know how to contact us.
Exactly. As Fugo just said, you can always contact him or me if English isn't your native language and if you need assistance in translating.
So I'd like to say thank you from myself. This is my first one. We'll see if I get asked back to come and help with another one next time.
Yes, please.
I've enjoyed myself just chatting away. Hopefully we can do this again quite soon.
Thank you, Smeger. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in, for being with us with our EU podcast. We're doing that regularly as well, approximately every 4 weeks or so. And the EU podcast is it's specifically at EU time, so because the other podcasts are usually at night time for us EU peeps, but you can always watch them as well, of course, on YouTube, because once they are done, they get uploaded to the YouTube channel, and then you can watch them there as well whenever you like. Thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you, Smeger, Fugo, and Koe for being with us here tonight.
I will just add in French. If you mind, le prochain podcast c'est le 22 novembre si vous voulez nous rejoindre et que vous avez des questions.
That was it? Or are you still saying something? My French isn't that good.
I just said that the next EU podcast is on the November the 22, and if they got questions, they can ask me.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. Thank you everybody for watching us. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to subscribe to the Dark Age of Camelot newsletter as well. Our busy Moobot has already posted the link where you can do it, and you'll always find new information and all the news on Dark Age of Camelot on the Camelot Herald. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for watching us.